How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There is a who. This is a who. It's like a person, but it's a who. Okay? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all must have been that his heart was 2 sizes small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, taking the who, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy grin. As the warm light windows below in their town, where he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy hanging a mistletoe wreath, and they're hanging their stockings. He snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously grubbing. I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the who girls and boys would wake up bright and early. They'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise. The noise, 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 noise. That's the one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. Then the who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on who pudding and rare who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the who's would start singing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years, I put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. How? And then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like St. Nick. Now I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was Did that stop the Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog, Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Get up!" And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's made a snooze in their town. All the windows were quiet, all the windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number one. The old Grinch claws this, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little blue stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slugged with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and he stuffed them in bags, and the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox and pushed the lash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of ash. He stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou Who was no more than two. Then the Grinch had been caught by his tiny daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of a lie, he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the big Santa Claus line. There's a light on this tree. There's one light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back. His big little child, and he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he said to the bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. And the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went to the chimney of himself, the old guy. On their walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 15:15 dawn, all the Who's to the bed, all the Who's to the snooze, when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimmings, the dressings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount trumpet. He rode with his load with a tip-top to dump it. Boo-boo to the boos. He was Grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouth will hang open and and all the who's and who will cry. That's a noise when the Grinch that I simply must hear. So he paused and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes and he shook when he saw with a shocking surprise. From every who down at Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing with no presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch stood puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours. His puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, is a little bit more. What happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the moment his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he went with his load to